Hey, this is going to be a quick AoE mage farming guide for slave pens. So I'm going to do a live commentary. This is not an edited video. It's all going to be done live. And I'm going to kind of explain everything as we go along. I have some pretty decent gear, so if you're maybe a freshly boosted character, you'll still be able to do this, but it might be a little bit more difficult. Like I'm rocking 5-piece tier 2, and then the PvP set, which reduces my blink by 2 seconds. Other than that, I've got like Will of Warlock, Spirit gear. Try and get MP5 if you're a boosted character or you don't have as good gear, then you're still able to do this. I was farming this since I was like level 61, so just keep that in mind. Right now I'm 67, so I've been doing this for quite a bit. But yeah, I'll kind of go over everything. First thing I'd recommend is get yourself a superior mana oil, apply it to your weapon. It'll help with the MP5. And also get a swiftness of Zanza. This is honestly a godsend. It really helps a lot. You don't need it, but it helps if you're trying to learn. Right, okay, we'll get right into this in a second. You'll notice I'm using Mage armor. That's because I've done this so many times. If you're still learning this pull, do it with Frost armor or Ice armor or whatever until you get the pull down. It's going to take you a couple of times dying until you really get this pull down. It took me quite a bit, but it's not super difficult, so I'll try and give a commentary of what I'm doing. So the first thing is, immediately when you zone in, the pathing of the mobs is going to be fresh, so you're going to want to like start the pull ASAP as soon as you zone in. You're going to firstly blizzard this pack, and then blizzard the next pack of these little bog strocks. Alright, now make sure you hug this wall. If you're level like 61 earlier on, you have a higher aggro range, so be careful. If you do pull them, it's not the end of the world. Your pull is not going to get scuffed. It might feel that way because you've never done it before, but you can just keep going with the regular pull and then eventually they'll reset. So just run around here, Nova these guys, and then drop a blizzard. Okay, now there is a pat, which I'll point out in a second. And if the pat's in your way, then I'll show you what you can do if they're in your way. So hopefully they'll be in my way so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay, they're not. This is the pat I was talking about. Sometimes they can be over here, and sometimes they could be patting back and completely in your way. And if they do, then what you want to do is you basically want to blink through the mobs. Like blink through the pack of mobs and blizzard kite them. So here I'm just like dropping blizzards down, keeping the mobs kited, reapplying shields. Now over here I drop a blizzard really quick, sidestep, drop another blizzard, sidestep, drop another blizzard, just to keep them nice and bunched up. Counterspell this far group here. Jump up. Nova. And then drop a rank 1 blizzard right here. Once blink comes back up, gonna be refreshing this blizzard. Shield. Alright, now is the ledge jump. Okay, come like right over here, right against the wall, and then ice block. As the mobs go around the corner, they'll hit you, but they'll keep walking. If you're too far over to the right, they'll smack you. But if there is one on you, then just like mosey on over here. That's basically what you want to do. If you come here, no mob can attack you. So anyway, now that those mobs are on their pathing, just dropping a blizzard here. So I'll show you what I mean. So these mobs should come over to this ledge. And if I'm standing here, they'll smack me. just like that. But if I stand over here, they can't. So these mobs will go all the way around and pat. But you've seen other videos about this. So I kind of scuffed this right now. Like, they're quite spread out. Obviously you want to have this as grouped as possible. So if this happens and it's kind of scuffed like this, just keep sidestepping and rank 1 blizzarding. And try and stay out of range, because what they do is they cast a rain of fire like that. And also the little guys will cast a banish. So if a banish gets tossed on you, you can do one of 2 things. Cold snap, ice block it off. If you're a gnome, you can escape artist. Or blink and jump up on the ledge. When you're up on this ledge too, you can bandage, do whatever you want. It's pretty good. Good little ledge to just get resituated with the pull. It's worth noting here, the boss pats up and down the stairs, or this ramp, right? And if you're a lower level, then like 61, I remember there were a couple times where these mobs that I'm like kiting would accidentally pull him just because of their like aggro range or radius or whatever. So just keep in mind. Here I'm just going to be pulling this far pack, dropping a blizzard here in this corner. If they rain a fire, you can also counterspell them. So all I'm doing is just like kind of juggling blizzards, making sure the mobs don't catch up, sidestepping consistently. Now right now I'm still just trying to group them up. I'm not actually trying to kill them yet. I still got to pull all these guys. And with these guys, you kind of want to pull these mobs there when the boss is padding up. Because if you do it when he's padding down, like their pathing is kind of weird. And you'll see what I mean. They'll step over the ramp, and if you're if you're not careful, it can accidentally pull the boss. So I remember I was watching other guides and I was wondering why nobody was popping Fire Ward, and it's just because you don't really need to be honest. If you're learning and you've never done this pull before, I would recommend you do pop Fire Ward just until you get used to this. But like I said, I've done this so many times now that it's not really necessary at this point. So those technicians drop the Rain of Fire, and you got to be careful with those, because when they drop their Rain of Fire, they're essentially going to be channeling it for like a decent amount of time, and then while they're casting it, it's like they stand still so that they're not moving. So what that means is like it can separate them from the pack. And the range on that is like 30 yards. So if you've got the talents here, I forgot to show my talents, my bad. I've got 27 points in Arcane and 31 points in Frost, but specifically Arctic Reach gives you a 36-yard range on your Blizzard, which will put you just out of range of these technicians, Rain of Fire, and also these little these dudes here, the Coil Fang collaborators. They'll cast the cripple, but if you get within range, those technicians will drop a Rain of Fire, and you want to avoid that as much as possible, because like I said, it splits them up from the pack. So almost gonna be entering the kill phase, the kill portion of it here. I'm just grouping them up. Once the boss pats one more time, I'm gonna start popping cooldowns and killing him. But I guess right now is technically the kill phase here. I usually wait till they kind of come around here. This is like the golden area to start the kill phase. When they start getting over here, pathing gets a little fucky. So you have to like be wary of that as well. So what I mean by fucky is like this corner specifically is like sometimes you'll be landing a blizzard like the circle. This will show, it'll be like this, right? So you're like, oh, okay, it's covering both sides of this like you know, there's this little point here. It's covering both the left and the right sides of it, but that's not actually the case. This is what I was talking about when I say they cast the Rain of Fire and separate themselves from the pack. If they do that, don't worry, just continue on with the, you know, just like rank 1 Blizzard and then just get them to group up again. So here I'm just popping some cooldowns, speed things up a little bit. So yeah, like I said, I'm doing this live. There's no editing. I'm just gonna upload this like raw to YouTube. So it's not the most efficient, and I apologize, but the point was just to get a quick guide out to help answer maybe some questions that other guides weren't covering. I also use major mana potions on cooldown. You might not be able to because maybe they're really expensive on your server. But I am able to because they're not very expensive. So yeah, if you don't have like the best MP5 gear, then just grab some or downgrade your potions to whatever is affordable until you can get it. So if these level 49 ones aren't able to, then get the greater ones for like level 31 or whatever. And this is pretty much it. So this will probably go on for another like 5 to 10 minutes. Depending on how lucky I am here. And another thing that I haven't seen covered yet in other guides, you got to keep these guys damaged. I think it's within like 45 seconds. If you don't damage one of them, then when they do die, it'll give a percentage of the XP value based on their health. So if you get somebody down to 20% health and you don't attack that mob for like 45 seconds to a minute, it soft resets that mob, which means that when you do kill it, it'll only give you 20% of its total XP. Like right now I'm getting about, like I should be getting about 2k XP per kill. But in that case, I'd be getting 200 XP per mob. So then it makes it kind of inefficient. And that might happen to you when you're just starting out and you're learning. You'll have a couple scuffed pulls because you're not really used to the pathing and the frequency and the like the speed at which the mobs are moving. So all this stuff is going to be new to you. You're not in the flow of it yet. So there might be a couple times where you pull and you notice the XP is like less. And in that case, don't worry, don't panic. As of the recording of this video, today is July 4th. It hasn't been nerfed, so. It's pretty much just rinse and repeat. Just another reiteration. This little corner is what I'm talking about. I'll run over to it at the end of the video. But you'll see the mobs are kind of going around it right now. That's the fucky corner I was talking about. So yeah, getting the right XP here. About 2k per mob. So right here, I stood too close. If you do stand too close to these guys, the technicians will also start casting Rain of Fire, and those dudes will cast Banish just like that guy just did on me. So yeah, try and keep ample distance. I'm not going to show you guys the loot and stuff, obviously, but I will show roughly where you want to be standing when you're using your Blizzard is like right here. So, one thing that I like to keep in mind is like, this radius, see how like just the edge of it is like kind of like overlapping over the edge? I like to keep it like, say like a third of the circle on the ledge. And if you can do that, then you're likely going to be out of range of their abilities. If you're like too close though, if you got like maybe like half a circle like this, then you might be too close. So like a good rule of thumb is like try and occupy a third of the circle on the ledge. And then that'll be a good like yardstick to measure how far away from the mobs you are. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. I'll try and answer as timely as I can. Thanks for watching.